The Miss Black International Ambassador pageant exists to give Black women globally the chance to serve as ambassadors of change and to encourage, empower, and enlighten communities, states, and nations. Our very own Jackiema Flemming recently won the title of Miss Black International Ambassador 2022 to 2023, and she is here with us, fortunately for us, to tell us all about this experience and so much more. Welcome, Jackiema, to GMSKN.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Good morning, SKN. I'm so happy to be greeted by the warm staff here at Studio 327.
All right, thank you so much for that. Well, let's start our conversation talking about your journey to this crown, one of several,
Yes.
but this crown. Let's talk about that.
So yes, I am the current Miss Black International. As you mentioned, it's a global pageant that is really geared towards empowering, educating, and uplifting Black women all around the world. To be quite honest, I never thought that I would be an international queen, but I'm happy that I have this opportunity, and I plan to use my platform to bring more awareness to all of the issues that are really plaguing us, not just as Black women, but as a Black community on a whole.
One of the things that you said earlier was about pinpointing the issues that we face, Black women in particular, and then you said not only that. Can you give us a sense of what those issues are?
Okay, so there are a ton, but my personal platform, the agenda that I've been pushing through this entire competition is bridging the gap in our society between the abled and the differently abled, not disabled. We have to eradicate that term now. This is so because I am an individual with a disability of my own. I have Marfan syndrome, and this affects the heart and the eyes. So for a while, I was diagnosed as legally blind. I had an intraocular lens implant. I wear glasses, so it's not as bad now. But I do remember feeling the stigma, the segregation in my classroom, just in my community on a whole, because of my disability. And I know that, of course, when you're coming from a place where there are not as much resources in other places, it is extremely hard because you're not only having to deal with the lack of resources, but the segregation and everything that comes along with it, just because there are other issues in your environment that are taken first priority. So for me, pushing my platform through Niche, which is my Disability Awareness Foundation, it's a nonprofit, started in 2015. I've been able to bring more awareness to the disabled community, our Black communities, and apart from that, education through edification. That's my other platform. Teaching has always been a passion for me. I've always loved education. And I've always understood that education really is the key to success, especially when you're coming from a low socioeconomic background, when you're from a background of poverty. You really need education as a tool to get you out. If it's not athletics, if it's not entertainment, then education really is the way to go.
Well, congratulations on all that you've attained thus far, and you will graduate in 2023.
Yes.
So what are some of your goals as an ambassador for 2023?
All right. So a lot of being a global ambassador, includes traveling and again, bringing awareness to your campaign, and at the same time, the agenda and the campaign of the Miss Black International Ambassador, Inc. So, for example, they sponsored my trip here. I really wanted to come back home because COVID and everything, I've been homesick. And that's actually one of the reasons why I chose to attend UVI. I love the proximity, the affordability, and the intimacy in the classroom. So they sponsored my trip home. I told them, of course, I miss Carnival. We're going to be outside again. I want to be able to participate. So they were like, okay, sure, we're going to sponsor your trip home. Go do what you need to do. We're going to support you in that effort. We have some upcoming campaigns, some workshops that we're going to be doing starting from the U.S. in Atlanta, where the show headquarters is. We are going to be making some appearances through BET. We have the New York Fashion Week coming up for next year. There's a whole bunch of stuff on our ideation board that we're planning to put forward. So a lot of it includes traveling, bringing more awareness, of course, and all of that.
You say we, so there's a whole team behind
yes.
you. Okay.
It's a team, but I would like to think of us more as a family. There are different categories for this pageant. So there is a Mrs. for married woman. There's a Miss There's a miss, which is my category, and there's a teen. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, there is so much to talk to you about, but I want to stick in, of course, as we talk about your studies at the University of Virgin Islands. Tell us about the degree that you were pursuing and also your membership as part of the Student Government Association.
Yes. I know a lot of persons, when they think of me or they hear my name, pageantry really comes up. But I'm actually really interested in politics, in policy, in governance, and leadership. So I am SGA president at the University of the Virgin Islands. I'm going into my second year now. I do plan to rerun, so look out for my campaign soon. I'm studying marketing and data science. I love teaching, as mentioned before, but during my time at the bank and my exposure through pageantry, I've been able to do some work through marketing. I realized, like, oh my God, this is really fun. I should be a marketer. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my marketing degree. But with the way things are going now, the impact of technology and globalization, data science is a new discipline, and it's really good for just about any field that you're in. You can apply it to medicine, you can apply it to business, to finance, because it's really all about using data to make sure that you're making the best decisions possible for the project that you're managing. So I thought, well, the way things are going now with AI, with Web 3.0, it would be really, really good to implement data science into marketing so that you can have better results. And then, of course, UVI just recently launched their construction management associates, and I wasted no time taking that up because I do have an interest in project management as well. Construction is trending.
I like that. Construction is trending. I like that so much. So we speak of UVI, and I see when you speak of UVI, you speak of it with great passion.
Oh, yes.
So how has your experience been at UVI thus far?
And I'm trying to bring
Lost for
words. I'm lost for words because, like I mentioned before, I always knew that I wanted to attend UVI because of the proximity, the intimacy, and the affordability. But I emphasize the affordability part because let me tell you, again, when you're coming from a low socioeconomic background, it's really important that you're able to afford education. I think that I'm able to do that, and not just an affordable one, but a quality one. I love UVI because it is the only HBCU in the Caribbean. But apart from that, it's small, but it allows you to be big. If you get what I'm saying. That small but Talawa kind of vibes. Yes. Okay. So I've just had many, many opportunities that has really impacted me at UVI in a positive way. I've really honed in on my leadership skills. I always knew that I was intelligent, but the academic challenges have been really good for me to challenge myself and to build myself. Apart from that, academic-wise, everything is good, but then I also love the opportunities just to be outside of the classroom and excel as well. For example, at UVI, because it's the only HBCU in the Caribbean, we have a lot of opportunities to take part in pitch competition and business ideation and innovation challenges, which is something I totally love. So I've taken part in a few innovation challenges sponsored by Stanley Black & Decker, Apple, just a lot of companies, major companies, and just having the ability to ideate with teams from other HBCUs and to bring something to the table and to be a part of a winning team. They understand that UVI has a lot of talent. So I'm happy for all the opportunities that I've been able to get through UVI, and not just being an ambassador for my school, but through that, I was able to move on to the National HBCU competition. I won that one, and it's just been great. If you're thinking of going to school and you haven't taken the step yet, I am telling you, now is the time. And I'm not paid by UVI, but you should consider UVI. It's definitely worth it.
Nice.
I've never had to fight with a queen before. I don't want to do it now.
You're going to bring in UE here? You're going to bring in UE. UE is good too, but UVI is the way to go.
You see, you're the guest, so I'll let you take this one, Jackiema. I'll let you take this one. Okay. All right, so let's talk about 2021, the Miss University of the Virgin Islands pageant. I said there were a lot of things that we had to talk about.
Yes.
Let's talk about that one.
Okay. So to be honest, guys, I've taken part in Miss Kids, I took part in my college show at CFBC. Quite a few shows I've done, and I thought after I made up my mind that, hey, going to school, here I come, that was going to be the end of my pageant journey. But to be honest, I'm one of those persons who view pageantry as a sport, and to be quite frank, a means to an end. And I didn't have any intentions on really taking part in the pageant down there, but when the pandemic hit my pocket really hard as well. And if it's one thing that I've always learned is that when you enter pageants, a lot of people think that the crown is the ultimate takeaway. Not. And I'm a testimony that it's not. I've done so much and accomplished so much through pageantry. So when the opportunity comes my way, of course, I take advantage of that. And I needed the cash for school. So I love my school. I was like, you know what, I need this. I was really taking care of my family. I was spending a lot when the pandemic hit. My funds dropped, did the pageant. I wasn't sure if I was going to win, but I won. And then they were like, okay, now go to the National HBCU pageant. And I was like, okay, sure. That one was a bit more intimidating because, I mean, my university is small. And if you know HBCU culture, you know the HBCUs on the mainland, they don't play. They don't play. Like, you think I'm proud? You should see them. So, you know, going up against schools like Howard, Southern A&M, I mean, I was like, man, I'm not sure if I'm going to win this, but I won that one. VI Pageantry reached out to me about representing the Virgin Islands for Miss Black International. I was like, well, okay, sounds good. I do want to do my master's after, so let's do this. Did that, won that. So it's just been quite a journey since Miss UVI. I didn't anticipate, you know, holding 4 titles in the span of 2 years, but it's God, I would say. It's God, and it's been working out.
That's
great.
nice.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There would have been some pageants that you would have entered that you would not have captured the crown.
Oh, yes.
And I know those were the past ones leading up to this. Did you feel discouraged and at any point in decide I'm not going to do pageantry anymore? Okay.
No. So for Miss St. Kitts, I came second runner-up. I won my CFBC.
Okay.
Won my title there. I did Miss Swimwear.
Yes.
I won that one. It's National Carnival Swimwear. My apologies. I just judged that last night.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Did Miss Labor when I was in high school. Second runner-up again. I've had a lot of second runner-ups before my crowns and some crowns in between. But as mentioned before, like, I've never felt discouraged because I've always learned that the crown isn't exactly the ultimate gift. I've gained employment opportunities through pageantry. I've been able to afford being able to go to college because of pageants. I've been able to build because of pageants. So invest. Like, I've always used my winnings, my networks to really just push myself in the right direction. And I've been able to accomplish all of this through pageantry. I also think of myself as a recruiter because, you know, a lot of persons still hold that really negative connotation that, you know, pageantry exploit women. Truth is, it's the other way around. As a woman, you can exploit pageantry for your own good, for your own self-development. And again, I think of it as a sport, but a sport that really allows you to be your ideal self, because unlike all the other sports or discipline, with pageantry, you have to do everything. You have to be fit. You have to be well-rounded, talented, be able to communicate, to socialize, to be more than just for yourself, but for your community. So it's the ideal platform for the ideal person to become their ideal self.
I love that.